Hey guys, welcome to my channel, Walking with Bruce, or Regimen Walking with Bruce is actually the name. I'm in Vlore, Albania today, which is where I moved to in January of this year. If you've watched my channel much, you know that I always did my videos in Armenia, where I lived for almost 5 years. But now I'm in Vlore, and it's really a beautiful city. I even get to go fishing, and usually I go over in that area somewhere. It doesn't look far, but it's really about almost 4 kilometers from where I'm standing now. The pine trees along the boardwalk look nice, and then on the other side it looks like palm trees or something, so that really adds a nice touch to it. Anyway, today I'm heading up to Cafe 1912, where most of the expats go to drink their coffee, and you can meet lots of, especially English speakers there, but also a lot of other nationalities. The owners are super friendly. And I usually go about twice a week. I did go more, but now it's getting warm weather, and I struggle to walk as much now. They've got a little carnival area set up, I guess mostly for the kids. It is pretty cool this morning, which is nice. Usually when I'm out walking this early, it's already hot. I do miss Armenia, and a couple things different about Armenia was that they had benches everywhere that you could sit on, and here not very many benches. They do have like concrete seats in areas that you can sit on. Also in Armenia, they had little coffee machines everywhere you went, and the popolaks that you could get drinks from, which was really nice. I guess here they really don't need coffee machines because they have the cafes like this everywhere. Over there is one. Right up there is one. They're just everywhere. I do miss the popolaks though, and the really good water of Armenia. The water here's not so good. A lot of people say it's bad. And most people don't even drink tap water. They have one big fountain that I know of that lots of people go to and fill their big jugs up to take home with them. Two more cafes there, another one here, another one right past this one. They do have lots of money exchanges here, which makes it nice when you first come here. And they're all about the same rate. A little difference in some, but not so much. Even at the airport, I was able to find a good exchange rate. But they also had the regular terrible airport rates and two more. They have thousands of bunkers in Albania, which were built, I think, like in the 1960s, when they had, I think, like a dictator. And I think they couldn't even leave Albania. The people couldn't. So it was really a secluded country back then. But the bunkers will be like that thing there, but it'll be a complete dome. And they're not in use anymore that I know of. They have made some into museums. Anyway, the dictator, I think, was afraid of invasions in the country or something, or bombings. So he had thousands and thousands of those bunkers made. Anyway, the Albania finally became independent, and now there's lots of tourists here. I kind of prefer the winter time when it's less crowded, and also it's nice and cool. It doesn't get as cold as Arkansas, where I'm from, or Armenia. I think it hardly ever snows here, if ever. Except in the northern parts of the city. Right here is the one place I've found where they have benches. And lots of old men come here and play their games. They just installed stoplights here, which I don't really care for, but I guess it's necessary for super heavy traffic. The sidewalks will be really busy later. It seems like people start getting up and going out about 5:30 here. And by 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning, it's super crowded. This is the only mall I've seen in Vlore. It does have an enclosed area, which is pretty nice, but it's really tiny with only a few stores. Nice big sidewalks here, which is good when it gets really crowded. And they do have a bicycle lane on this side here that's supposed to be dedicated just to the bicycles and scooters, but you'll see a lot of people walking in it, which is aggravating if you own a bicycle. And I did end up purchasing one myself, just so I could get to my fishing spot without having to walk 3 or 4 kilometers. I haven't caught many fish here. Several little sea bream, but the only big fish I hung broke my line, which was pretty disappointing. Even more so just not being able to see what I had caught or hung. You'll just see these cafes everywhere. In about 30 minutes to an hour, there'll be lots of people in them, sitting, drinking coffee. And some are having their drink of the national drink, which is Raki, R-A-K-I. They'll have a coffee and a shot of Rocky. Really strong drink. My landlord brought me a huge bottle of it, even after I told him I hardly ever drink anymore. Well, it looks like we have a long wait at the stoplight here. I ate there at Mr. Creek yesterday, and they had really good food. I got the spicy burger with jalapenos, which is what I love. You can see another little cafe right there with a few men sitting drinking, possibly having their coffee and Rocky. These stoplights are kind of aggravating for the people that walk, because before you could just cross the street and the cars would stop for you. Now you have to wait. Like that one said 78 seconds when it started. The sun's nice and bright on this side of the highway. I usually walk over on the other side where it's all shade. Lots of little stores here. So even if you can't find a mall here, you can usually find about everything you need. They don't have much Asian seasonings. And if you want like a pot of chili, you have to make it from scratch. But they still end up pretty good. I've made several pots of chili. But the chili powder is really spicy here that I've found. So you have to be careful with it. Nice setup here. Looks like brand new chairs and tables. That was Moncherry. They just opened that. I guess that's why they're all new. Most of the cafes you can get pastries. So with all the tourists here, that's a really popular business to have. I guess this is like the city park. I've never been in it, but I've seen where lots of people mention, like if they're renting an apartment, they'll say that it's next to this park. So I guess it's supposed to make it sell better. I apologize for all the bouncing my phone will be doing when I post this video. Lots of banks here. But if you're moving here, it's hard to open an account. Usually they want you to have your resident visa before you can open any kind of account. The Union Bank here does let you open accounts. So it's really popular with the expats that move here. They have lots of supermarkets. And my favorite is a long walk from anywhere I'm at. But it's worth going to me because they seem to have the freshest meat and the largest selection of things. And there's Union Bank that I was just talking about. I got my smallest coffee that I ever drank right there. And I don't even know what I ordered, but it wasn't even like a half a mouthful. See no stoplights at that one, and I was able to just walk right through the traffic. The Beer House 24 is also a popular expat area. And it's like a burger, seafood type place, but also like kind of like a fast food place. But I guess they specialize in beer. They do have like the fried seafood platters and stuff, which is nice. So the Cafe 1912 that I'm going to, I usually like to be the first one there, and I'm a few minutes late today. Usually there's no one in it except me, which is what I really like. This used to be Banana Road. They had the streets just lined up with vendors selling fruits and vegetables and bananas and household wares, seafood. It was really nice. And then the government, I guess, made them move everything off the sidewalks. So now you have a big empty sidewalk, which is easy to walk down, but really boring. There's the little stone seats I was talking about. You'll find those all through the city. So don't be surprised if I'm the only one at the cafe, because most people start showing up around 8 or 9 o'clock. And it's just after 7:30 now. The cafe is tucked away right inside this little alleyway.
Bruce.
Morning. Let me get a iced caramel cappuccino.
All right.
You got it.
Well, this concludes my destination and concludes the video. So thanks for watching, guys. Hope to see you next time.